So now from this lecture onwards, we're going to start with the HTML part of the project. So you can see here, I have already created the required files inside the Visual Studio Code. So you can see I'm going to click here view and WordRef so that you can see everything in just only this particular viewport of the Visual Studio. And also in this style.css, which is already linked with the index.html. And also inside this particular script.js, this particular file is also linked with the index.html. Okay, and I have actually named the project as robot jokes teller, or you can simply name it as robot jokes generator, because it is going to display a joke, or I can say that it's generating a joke in this particular chat order. Okay, so I have also launched the project inside the Chrome browser. So you can see this will be the application that we want to build in this particular module, and this is the final version so that we can get the reference. Now for this particular image, I have already saved the link inside my web browser from the Pixabay website. So you can use any of the image of the robot, or like whatever image you want to use. So you can use it here in place of this particular image tag. Okay, so I will be using this particular image. So this is the thing that are required for building the project. Now I'm going to click on this particular part, which is the version of the application that we want to build, and coming back to the index.html under the body tag. So first I need to create here a container. So here I will be using the emit abbreviation, and you can see it gives me a division tag with the name class container, means a class name having a container. Instead of that, I need to create the another div that will actually going to represent the header. So here I will be specifying the class header, and inside this particular header I will be placing the img tag. So I need to here provide the src. So for the src I will be using the image URL for this particular image, means getting the address from this particular image. So I have already saved it inside my URL section of the browser. So I will be pasting the src here, and for the alt I can just simply leave it as empty, and then I need to here specify the class. So class is going to like avatar, and then I'm going to simply save it. So if I come back to the version of the application, then you can see we are successfully able to fetch the image from the Pixabay website in this particular src attribute with this particular image tag. After that, I need to here also specify the heading, which is the h3 element. Alright, so after the image, I need to here specify the another element, which is going to be h3, which will basically denote the height 3 of the HTML. So here I will be displaying the text robot. Then you can see we get the text here as robot. And after that, we need to simply coming outside of this particular division tag, which is the header division tag. Then here I need to specify the another division tag, and inside of this particular division tag we want to display the chat. So id is going to be chat, and then I need to specify the class, which is also going to be chat. Then for creating differentiation between these two selectors, I'm going to simply specify a underscore at the front of the id chat, or you can simply use a capital one if you want to actually create a differentiation between the selector names. Alright, then I'm going to simply control save it. Now nothing is going to display because the division element is actually a hidden element. It is not going to display until and unless we are going to update its property by using the CSS or a JavaScript. Now after this we need a one button, because this particular division tag is going to display this particular whole chat. Alright, and after the chat we have this particular element, which is the button, which is the next step that we want to place under this particular container division. So make sure you are inside of this particular container division. So I'm going to remove this extra spacing after the end of this id division, which is the chat division, not id. Here I need to specify the button. Okay, so here I will be specifying the button. So button tag. Then I need to specify the id to this particular button, which is going to be like joke btn. Alright, and after that I need to here specify the class, which is going to be btn. And then inside of this particular btn, which is the button, so you can see we have this nice tiny button. Inside of that, the text that I want to display, which is like, can you tell me a joke? So this will be the text that I want to display inside my button. Joke and a question mark. If I control save it, then you can see we get the button, can you tell me a joke? Alright, so that marks the completion of the HTML part for this particular project. In the next part, I'm going to start with this CSS. Now the CSS for this particular project is quite long, so I will be typing the CSS more quickly as possible. Also, I'm going to explain this CSS more quickly as compared to my previous projects because there is a lot of CSS that I need to write. So that is the reason. And most of the CSS properties are pretty simple because we have frequently used it in many of previous projects. So that is the reason you can easily get the idea what I am actually doing with those CSS properties. And also I'm going to show you the output of the CSS inside the browser, which will definitely, if I control save it, then you can see the result of the CSS. Alright, so enough talk about the CSS. In the next part, we're going to start with the CSS part of the project.